You are now tuned in to the United Football Media. This is Tell Me About It, covering the number one spring football league, the United Football League. Man, fellas, it is like, I got a little story. Back in my past life, I was in a desert for a very long time. And out of nowhere, one year, we got this rainfall out of nowhere. And it ended up being more cumulative rainfall in 2 days than they usually get in this place in 2 years. Therefore, there was no proper drainage for it. There was nowhere for the water to go. So we had a foot of water outside. We were stacking up tables and chairs all in rows to make like water world bridges to walk to the places we needed to get to, from living quarters to bathrooms, all this stuff. There was even a situation where a septic tank, imagine if you put a soda can into a really big styrofoam cup and filled it up with water, what would happen with that soda can? Whoop, bloop, right up, out, and over. Poopy water everywhere. That is a lot like what the hell happened this week in this league, because we have betting lines. We've had this desert we've all been getting through lately here on the United Football Media, trying to pump out content for you guys. Think of things to talk about. Keep this thing interesting. And now, in the same week that we have betting lines, we have games to preview, we have this news that broke Saturday evening with Reggie Barlow, Reginald, and the DC Defenders. Now, obviously, we're not going to kill our own content, me and Tay, over on the DC Defender show, but we are going to get into it a little bit here because it is the biggest news going on in the league. Thankfully, training camp went off without a hitch, much despite the efforts of our wonderful, beloved Players Union. Training camp went down. Everybody's ready to rock. We should have depth charts at some point this week. We do have some betting lines for you to talk about next week's games if we hit these previews. But first up, we got to talk about it. Reggie Barlow, last night, 2 days ago, as you listen to this, it should be Monday morning, took a job at Tennessee State college football team, right here on the eve of welcoming the defending champions on into Rowdy Outy next week. And I saw people say it in some places, and this is my take on it. This is not a negative thing for the league. This is a positive thing for the league. This type of thing right here is exactly what the league is supposed to be for, and on multiple levels. Because on the one, it's supposed to be an opportunity. We're defending the league in this union thing, in this labor thing, where we say, well, the league is supposed to be about providing opportunities to show what you can do, providing opportunities to stay in the game, providing opportunities to keep getting reps and tape out there for other teams to look at. And it's not just the players. It's also these coaching staffs, many of them getting their first opportunities. This is not Reggie Barlow's first opportunity, but in general, it's a place for people to grow. It's a place for people to showcase. It's a place for people to develop. So twofold, this worked out because this is exactly what it's supposed to be about. So when we defend the league against being this league that makes millionaires, it's supposed to be about opportunity. Well, we're seeing a great example of that right now because Reggie Barlow got to show what he could do, get hired at a big-time college, go on, make better money, take a great job. On the flip, his understudy for many, many years, who was taking over the head coaching duties, Shannon Harris, is also, do you think that he graduated in 2004, been an assistant offensive analyst at Tennessee State after that, and then was a offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach at Virginia State with Reggie Barlow before he was the offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive assistant here in DC for the last 2 years with Reggie Barlow. He's been with him for many, many years on his staff as a protege. Do you think Shannon Harris ever thought that he would be having the opportunity to be the head coach of a professional football team at this point in his life and his coaching career? I don't think so. I sincerely doubt it. So he got his opportunity. Reggie Barlow going on to a better job, going to lead that program. He's got a great opportunity. And again, I'm super pumped for Shannon Harris. Has done a great job everywhere he's been. Like I said, that's his background. Offensive analyst, Tennessee State, offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at Virginia State with Reggie Barlow, and then offensive assistant and quarterbacks coach here in DC. So excited for him to have the opportunity, excited for Reggie Barlow to go on, head on and not have an opportunity. Good stuff all around. I understand some DC Defenders fans and some fans of the league maybe being a little bit concerned about Reggie Barlow leaving it right at this point, but this is what you're going to deal with. This is what this league is about, because spring football is about to kick off in college football. That's when a lot of teams might want to go ahead and make sure that they cement and get their coach in there. Domino effect from Eddie George taking the job from out of Tennessee State and heading on to Bowling Green. Good for him as well. So this is going to happen. This is going to happen if the league is successful. This is going to happen if the coaches are doing a good job. This is going to happen. Good for him. Good for Shannon Harris. And as far as the DC Defenders go, they have probably the most prolific pair of coordinators in the league between Greg Williams and Fred Cass. I'm not that concerned about their ability to keep things going. The players know and are very comfortable with Shannon Harris. So I'm not that concerned about a huge drop off for them. Is it wild to lose your coach a week out? Yeah, but also, hey, it could create a great story. I can see it now. I can see this being what they're talking about, on the broadcast. Oh, they just lost their coach a week before, and here they are competing, possibly beating the defending 3-time champion Birmingham Stallions. Tay, what do you got for us on this situation?
The only thing you can say that was bad about this was just the timing. Just the fact that the UFL season was about to start. But it was good timing for his upcoming season. He went to HBCU football. Felt like that was a better job opportunity, and like you said, you're right. That's gonna happen. We see some of the best UFL players. They go to the NFL when they're done. And they some come back and they do it. Like that's just how it goes. So I'm happy for him. I think the Defenders will be just fine. Because I think it's gonna be like the same system. I don't think anything's gonna really change.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
So yeah, I think like I said, the Defenders will be just fine. It's always good to see a coach move onto better things, and it was just odd timing that it was this week. That's all. If it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I don't think it wouldn't have made as much noise as it did. But yeah, this is good for the league.
True thoughts.
I mean, it sucks to lose your coach right before the season starts, but I think Tay said it best. Not much is really going to change. Everything they've been focusing on training camp is probably still going to be business as usual. Knowing the coach, he probably knew this was coming. Probably prepared them privately. Like it's one of those things where like we get the news, but the team might have internally knew for a little while longer. So, I mean, I don't think it's gonna make it. Definitely don't change anything in my opinion of where the Defenders are going to be this season. I heard you mention the Stallions and the Defenders game and that they're going to be competing. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they're going to beat them, but I think they'll still have the same season. I can't imagine this completely throwing them off. If it does, it would only be this week, and then it'd probably be an adjustment because every week in the UFL is an adjustment. So I think it might be a little funny maybe going into this game against the defending champions, but I think they'll be fine. The talent is what's really going to take them far, and they have some talent there. I'm not as big on the Defenders, obviously, as some others may be, but I don't think it's really going to change anything. I think they'll still be middle of the pack like they were. and whatever guidelines were passed down from coach to coach, we'll still see it implemented. So that's fine.
Well, speaking of which, we got games to talk about like we just did. So we'll kick it off right here, right now. So let's go ahead and do that. Week 1, St. Louis Battlehawks traveling to the Houston Roughnecks. Oh boy. Yeah. So they're only 6-point favorites right now, according to Vegas. I don't know if that is. I mean, there might be some week 1 jitters. There might be some getting used to each other, some chemistry, some gelling that needs to happen with this Battlehawks team before they're fully rocking and rolling. So maybe this is not the level of slaughter that we would assume it would be on paper. But maybe it will be. I don't know. I think that's an interesting. Well, maybe just, because of the unknowns of this league, Vegas doesn't want to put the lines out too high. Maybe that's it. But I think we would all assume that the Battlehawks, unless they are really out of sync and really need more time to get used to one another, I think that we would all be surprised if the Battlehawks don't win by 10 at least. What do you think there, Tay?
Well, I got the Battlehawks, but I do understand the point spread, for the week 1. It's kind of hard to predict blowouts, and you just never know. You just never know how teams are going to come out, like the Brahmas, for example. I don't think anyone expected the Brahmas to be as good as they were, and they were one of the best teams. So you just never know week 1, so you can't really overrate any teams, especially if there's like some questions about certain positions, like the Battlehawks quarterback, it's not Asian McCarron like what it once was. So there's questions. So I do understand the 6-point spread, but I still got the Battlehawks, and I do expect rust. Like I could see 17-10. Like I can see that. I expect some rust like in pretty much every game. This is definitely one of them. I don't know why, but yeah, I got the Battlehawks 17-10.
True.
I
don't think you're going to be quite as demure about your prediction on this one.
No, I was going to say Battlehawks like 35-7, but I mean, I don't think that's fair to
you have to be very in sync to make that happen. 35 points happen. So
yeah, no, I will say this. I do agree there'll be rust, but I think the worst part is if you're the Roughnecks and you have some rust off of what you did last year. I mean, how much worse could it get? Like, so. Yeah. I think and I think with the Vegas lines, what Vegas is very smart in doing, because once again, it's not Vegas is not intended to help you make as much money as possible. They try to fool you as best they can. So
them casinos is real big and look real nice for a reason.
Yeah. So if you see that, and if you think, oh, this is the first game, they're going into Houston, so this team is on the road, so they could get, like they're the favorites, but they could get upset. So people are like, that's just how people bet. People bet on what they see plus. They see plus money. They see plus money. So I get what Vegas is doing. I still wouldn't take that bet. I wouldn't take this point spread is different. I mean, it could go either way. I really hate the point spread stuff when it comes to UFL games because of how the UFL is played. I think it's kind of a little sketchy how they do the lines. But if you're betting money line, I hadn't seen what the money line was for the game, but
just to clarify, money line is just pick the winner. That's for anybody
picking the winner.
That. I didn't know this was about to turn into a sports gambling podcast. Where's FBI Tugboat? Get his
no! This definitely the prime time to turn into UFL, because it's a sport it's a league that people don't typically bet on as much. So I think most people who run Discords and charge you like $75 for their picks, they're probably gonna, look into this and do that. Don't trust those people. That
premium content, paywall premium content. We love it.
But no.
So I'm going. Yeah, what's your score?
Battlehawks. I'd be nice. I'd be like 28-10. I think that's nice.
I was gonna go 23-10. That's my pick.
Okay.
23-10. Going Battlehawks. But hopefully, the Roughnecks will provide some hope, a little bit of friskiness. Let's see some of that. Let's go Roughnecks. San Antonio going to Arlington. San Antonio's favored by 3. Could be interesting. I tell you a place where there should not be rust. The Arlington Renegades offense, because they've had the same quarterback, offensive system, head coach, and same 2 receivers for going on 3 years now. So maybe that gives them enough of an advantage here in week 1 to pull off what I think many would consider an upset. I don't know how much of an upset it really is, because they won the XFL 2 years ago, and last year their record was rough, but they lost an incredible amount of games on last-second plays or by 3 points or less. So how good or bad really was this team? You got everybody back on offense, and the addition of Kalen Ballage at running back. Some good additions on defense as well. I don't know. Are we going to see? Are the Renegades going to pull this off? I'll let you guys tell me, and then maybe I'll be convinced for my pick. Tay, what do you think?
Yeah, I got the Renegades. I'm just not a believer in the Brahmas. Yeah, and I see Kellen Mond as a starter. That's what I've been seeing. So
yeah, no, they announced the starter. Yeah,
yeah. So I that kind of like confirmed it for me. So yeah, I got the Renegades. To give a score, it'll be close. I would say 24-21. I think it'll be close. Like could see, like last second kind of thing. But yeah, I think this would be a great game. Probably my favorite game of the week. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Renegades. I'm just not a believer in the Brahmas this year.
So Arlington's going to start off early, turning around those late games. They're going to start winning them this year.
Mm-hmm.
True. What do you think?
It pains me to actually say this, but I think I agree with Tay. I actually think I agree with Tay on this, because it's kind of what you said. The fluidity of the Renegades offense is going to be there. The fluidity of what they do. I am a little on Kellen Mond. I'm a little shaky on Kellen Mond as QB1. So,
okay,
but I love the Brahmas defense. So that's all. It's kind of like the Brahmas defense to me is going to be their strong suit this year. And while defense does win championships, I just think week 1 defense might be a little lackadaisical here and there because it's the first week, and the Renegades, they're home. Like you said, their offense, their players, they have the personnel and they know each other well. So if you lost all those games last year by 1 possession, just one last play, I think they'll pull out. It'll be a tough one. I'm gonna go like 17-14. Maybe like that 30 seconds to go, kick a field goal. Something like that. But I think this will probably be the most competitive game of the weekend. I know the one game that I don't think will be competitive, but we'll get to that next. So
yeah, I think I think also 17-20 is what I was thinking, but I cannot. Renegades got to do it, man. I didn't. I gave you guys a chance. I like what you're talking about, but I just can't. I also can't have this show picking 3-0 against the Brahmas, and then the hell to pay that will be coming out of the cow pasture next week if we all so all the Brahmas have shown they can do it. The Renegades have not. So 20-17 Brahmas is what I'm going with. Real quick, we forgot to mention it just because this is like an overall coverage. Some of you might be casual viewers trying to get into the UFL, so we'll go ahead and give you the information download. St. Louis at Houston is at 8:00 Friday night on Fox. So Friday night kickoff, Friday night matinee, right there on Fox. Check it out, 8:00. And then the Saturday matchup, San Antonio at Arlington, is at 4:00 Eastern. These times are Eastern time, by the way, on Fox. Check that out. Our Sunday matchups, one True is looking forward to very much. Sunday at noon. That'll be the excuse this week for why there's only 50 people in the stands. It's church. It's real heavy church country down there in Memphis. So everybody's at church. And that's the Showboats are going to need the Lord on their side for this one to not get blown out. We got the Michigan Panthers going down there Sunday at noon to go against the Memphis Showboats. Panthers are favored by 3. That seems like a pretty easy one to me. I don't know. I think I got let's say, since we don't know, because the legend EJ Perry is no longer there up there in Michigan running the offense. A little bit of questions at quarterback, so I'm not going to go super high on the points. We'll go 20-16. 20-16. Michigan Panthers. What do you think there, Tay?
Yeah, I like Michigan in its matchup. There's not really a home field advantage factor here.
No.
I like the Michigan Panthers a lot last year, just like how they won their games. They did lose some guys, but again, everyone got better. Everyone also gained guys as well. So, just not really worried about the Showboats. This isn't gonna be their first win, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna go with the Panthers.
I think the Panthers are a little bit slept on. They got basically every major piece back, other than Jake Bates, which mind you, Jake Bates was a huge piece of the operation last year, but their major star players on offense and their major star players on defense are all back. And what was a really threatening, solid looking team. So I guess we'll see. Drew, go ahead.
56-0. No, I'd say probably like 24-10, something like that. I mean, I'm giving the Showboats a little bit more credit than I'd like to, but it's a new season. You know what I mean? Like, it's a new season. I think it's very hard to start a season completely obliterating another team, no matter how bad they might be. And it's even, if the Roughnecks, can have a 1-score, 2-score, loss to the battlehawks, then I think the Showboats can at least, make it be like 17-10, and then give up like a fourth quarter score, and that'll be like to close it out and end it. But it's the first week, so you're not gonna see offenses go gangbusters. I don't expect that in week 1. Now week 3, week 4, hopefully Showboats lose by 60. But I don't think, like I said, I don't think week 1. Most of these games are going to be semi-close. Most of them are going to be semi-close. Just that second half, that fourth quarter is where you'll see the better team start to pull away.
Yeah. Last game of the weekend, 3:00 Sunday, the big one for me and Tay, and obviously we'll go into this more on DC Defender Show later on this week. The Birmingham Triple Pete Stallions rolling in to go against the DC Defenders with the new head coach Shannon Harris. Some new things going on there. A lot of old stars back as well. I was surprised. Maybe I shouldn't be. They got the Birmingham is favored by 7 at DC. I do not think it's going to be like that at all. The Birmingham figures to have a star quarterback either way, but DC Defenders' number one asset is their pass rush on defense. So I don't expect this to be a walkover or particularly high scoring either, because on the other side of things, DC Defenders are going to run the ball. They're going to control the ball the best they can. So I don't know if DC has the firepower. They cut a lot of the guys that we thought were going to fill in the pass catching roles that were vacated by the people who left. I don't know what the plan is there. They're a little bit in flex, possibly from not too much, but I don't know if they're going to be not in flex enough to pull off beating the 3-time straight defending champions, Birmingham Stallions, who bring a lot of studs back. So I'll go 20 to 13 Stallions, but I think the defenders are going to make a damn fine acquittal of themselves in this game. What do you think there, Tay?
I think the defenders play a good game, but the Stallions are just on another level to me. Like
right now,
yeah, I think the Stallions are pretty good, but I don't think it's gonna be any kind of blowout. Like I got like 19-16, like maybe something close like that. I don't see a blowout. I think the defenders will play a good game. Just unfortunately lose at the end, but yeah, like this is gonna be another interesting game to watch. Like you could say this could be another game of the week kind of thing, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the Stallions here. I got the Stallions by 3.
True. What do you think, man?
I got the Stallions. Just defending champs. Just some obvious changes, but they know how to win. They just know how to win, and the defenders haven't shown us yet that they know how to win, especially with this league. You know what I mean? Like with this league, we haven't seen it. So it's very hard to pick a score in this one. I'll probably go like 24-14. Like, you know what I mean? I'll say 24-14 because I think it'll be close, be like 14-14, somewhere in the mid third quarter ish. And then Birmingham gets like a field goal. And then near the end, they stop the defenders, and then they go down and score. And it's gonna look like, they won by 10, but it's gonna look like a game where it really did come down basically to the wire and to one last possession, one last score. So yeah.
I kind of feel, I don't want to say not really the opposite, but I feel as if Stallions got to come out and put their foot on their neck like quick, because especially in Rowdy Audi, if they let them hang around and let them think that they get a chance, and the pressure starts to set in, and what the hell is going on? Why can't we protect our quarterback? This crowd is going crazy. The atmosphere, but I do think that they'll end up be able to overcome. I think the defenders are going to be a team that really kicks into gear week 4-ish on, and then kind of it might overwhelm, depending on how injuries go, depending on how things go. But you're breaking in the new coach, who isn't new to the team, but you're breaking in that. You're figuring out the answers to some questions on offense. Once you get those questions figured out, we can get things rolling a little bit. I think this team will be real one of the better teams starting week 3, week 4, going on through the rest of the year. We hope that you are with us for the rest of the year here on United Football Media. Our guy, Jay, Defending Football, already posted a 5-minute clip. He is a little bit in disarray from what happened this week with Reggie Barlow. I'm going to have to ask him if he wants to come on DC Defender Show with me and Tay this week. Obviously, DC Defender Show with me and Tay is going to be a real interesting watch, because we're going to break down the game, but also obviously discuss what happened with Reggie Barlow and how it's going to affect things. Going into the game, a little bit deeper look into individual granular matchups than we got onto here. So be sure to check us out. Webb and Brandon, of course, Captain's Log, breaking down the matchup here, breaking down things, trying to get that church crowd out of there. That to think, down there in Memphis, like the Baptist churches and stuff, don't they got church all day, don't they? They got 6 o'clock service, and they got 7 o'clock service that goes till 2 in the morning or whatever it is. Can't they just get out there, support your showboats, go to an evening service down there in Memphis, people? Brahma Bullpen, of course, out there in the cow pasture is going to be rocking this week. Big matchup with Arlington. I know that they're excited. They'll do a great breakdown for you guys. They are licking their chops to, this Tay and Brahmas thing is becoming a little bit like the True and Showboat situation. Maybe not on purpose, it's purposefully, but it is getting there with the feelings, the bad feelings that are being generated by this. And of course, our guy FBI Tugboat going to be on the PAWD podcast, breaking down the Michigan Panthers matchup as well. He's excited. A lot of news to talk about this week. So be with us for all of our programs here on the United Football Media. We should have Renegades and Battlehawks coming in real soon. Show for those teams as well. We appreciate it. And then, of course, Ace, the main man down there covering the Houston Roughnecks. It'll be an interesting week on that show, given that they're going against the Death Star, the Death Star Battlestar Galactica badass team that is the Battlehawks. So be interesting to see his thoughts and feels about that this week. So check out all of the shows, United Football Media. We, of course, are the DAR Sports Crew. Put in DAR Sports Media right up there in the search bar on YouTube. Check us out. We're doing the NFL draft over there right now. Just did a breakdown on NFL draft wide receivers. We cover football, basketball, combat sports. Throw us a sub over there if you like what we do over here. Be forewarned, there is some cussing going on over there on our page. Not like here, the professional, buttoned up, family friendly. Good for everyone content you get all across the United Football Media over here. It is week 1 and things are happening. We will tell you all about it next week because this is Tell Me About It.